And we are live. This is UFC Bro Picks, UFC Boys, UFC Fight Night Boise. This is
What's up, guys? This is Justin, and we're back. We had a pretty good weekend, two good cards. Before we talk about Boise on Saturday, we'll do it a recap. Yeah, dude, the Tough Finale card was pretty good. Stylebender's proved that he's a top 10 guy. I mean, he went out there and won every round, in my opinion. Totally made Brad Tavares look like, not a top 15 guy. Brad's still good though, man. But I mean, Stylebender just kind of styled on him, man. What were your thoughts on that fight?
yeah, man. Kind of Stylebender showed that he's a complete MMA fighter. He's ready to fight the top 10 guys. Still curious to see how he'll do against an elite wrestler. You know, Brad Tavares is a pretty good striker. Good wrestling, but not really elite in my opinion. But I mean, Stylebender, man, his striking is like no one's we've ever seen before in that octagon, in my opinion. It's definitely his own style, predictable, and I think he's going to cause a lot of problems for people. He's very exciting.
Yeah, man, he's one kickboxer that has looked really good in the UFC, and there's one kickboxer I'll talk about in a couple of minutes, but we'll stick with this card. Italy went out there and handled business. He definitely, it was a close fight. I do, agree with the scorecards. A lot of people were saying that Julian won. I don't think so, man. I mean, Italy went out there and outstruck him, had more takedowns. I think the takedowns were the reason why he won that fight. But I mean, dude, his chin looked really good in that fight. Julian's chin looked good. It was one of the best fights of this year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that was my only play. I cashed 6.2 units on that fight. Anything else you want to talk about this card, or you want to just talk about 226?
Well, I didn't really have any bets that card, so I'm ready to talk about 226.
All right, man.
I didn't do that well.
Go ahead.
I lost on Chiesa, Saki, and Burns, and one on Willander. I shouldn't have bet. I should have completely passed on Saki. I got sold on the hype. I mean, I saw his fight against De Silva, and he looked horrible. I thought he just gassed. I thought he was gonna look better, but I should have went on what I seen on tape. I got sold on the hype, and I paid the price. And I'm gonna learn from it. I'm gonna tighten up my plays from now on. I'm not gonna go bet just because everyone's saying this guy's gonna win. I'm not gonna go with the hype anymore. I've already told myself that. I should have known. I'm still kind of I was pretty upset about it, but you just got to move on and learn from those situations. Michael Chiesa, I can't believe that. I don't know. He just didn't look good in there. He doesn't. I don't know what happened. And Burns, I should have passed on that too, but I wanted to take that shot because I do think he had the grappling advantage. But Hooker, man, he's looking really good at 155. So that's props to him. What do you say about 26?
I went 2-2. I went 0.73 minus on the night. Khalil cashed. I was pretty nervous, man. I'm not gonna lie, because the interview did not make it seem good at all. But I mean, a knockout in a minute. I mean, that was pretty impressive. Chiesa went out there and looked like dog crap. I might be off the Chiesa train for sure. Burns, I mean, just I don't. How do you want to talk about that? I mean, Burns just got smoked. The Hooker showed he's a top 10 guy. And then Melender, made it close, but he still won. The last 2 rounds, in my opinion. Other than that, man, let's talk about the Boise card. It's a good card. Without further ado, so the first fight of the night, I believe, is a chick fight. It is. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's Jessica Aguilar Jag versus Jodie Esquibel. I actually had a play. I'm pretty sure you did too on this fight when it was announced a couple months ago. I had a play on Jodie, but I had her like a plus 165. I think she opened. I think like a plus 110. They got steamed to like minus 150. I don't want to play her at I don't want to play her minus 150. I do think she's gonna win, but I think there's better plays in the card. It's a close fight, man, because Aguilar's a very tough chick. She definitely has the grappling advantage. She's definitely the bigger girl because Jodie's a small strawweight. But I think Jodie's a better striker. I think Jodie's gonna be in her face the whole fight. So, Jag I think is kind of done. I mean, I don't know what happened, but I'm pretty sure that she got pulled last fight because something to do with like what, like a zit or something on her, or no, chapsticks, or no, it was like yeah, her whips were like chapped or something like that. That's pretty weird. I don't know. I don't think she wanted the fight that night. I do think Jodie is the better fighter, but it's as close fight. So I got Jodie. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got Jody too. Like you said, we both had money on the previous fight at dog money. I don't know if it's like you said, worth it now. I do think it's kind of a close fight. I do think I do give the advantage to Jodie Esquibel on the feet, but Jessica Aguilar does have some pretty good takedowns, and she might just take her down and hold her down. You know what I mean? And sneak a couple rounds that way. So I do think it's going to be close. I do favor Jodie Esquibel to keep it standing and outstrike Aguilar for the win. But like you said, man, it's pretty close. Still, like these girls are both like she's pretty good, but they're not the great either. So like you said, there's better plays on the card, and got to tighten up the plays. But I do think Jodie Esquibel is going to win, and better line than yeah, man. I got Jodie Esquibel, and yeah, man. Next fight we got Mark De La Rosa versus Elias Garcia. Um, Not gonna lie, I don't really know much about him. I just know that De La Rosa got choked out by Elliott. And I mean Elliott's pretty good, but I don't know. I think he had his way with him, and this guy Elias Garcia is making his debut, so don't know much about him. Huge pass, but I'm probably gonna have to go with De La Rosa just because he's got that octagon experience. What about you?
Yeah, this is a close fight. I think Del Rosa's the bigger guy. He definitely has the grappling advantage. Garcia has the striking advantage. Trains at Duke Rufus with Pettis and all those guys over there. Close fight. I don't really care about this fight that much, but I think I'll go with Garcia. I think he has a better striking. I think that he can win a decision here, but I'm not confident in it. So next fight, we got another fight that I'm not confident at all. We got Liz Carmouche versus Jennifer Maia. I mean, Carmouche is dropping to 125. She's definitely gonna be the bigger girl. Maia is not really that impressive, in my opinion. I see a lot of people picking her here and betting her here. I still think Carmouche is a pretty tough out for a lot of these girls. So I got Carmouche. I think she's gonna have the grappling advantage, and she's pretty big, man, for 125 for sure. I know Post USADA, but she's no slouch, man. So I got Carmouche, but don't tell me. What about you?
I'm gonna have to go with you too. Agree with you. I got Carmouche. She's got that. She's just pretty strong for a girl. But I don't. It seems like she only loses to like the girls that like the elite girls. But I don't know. She hasn't looked the same. I'm probably gonna have to go with Liz Carmouche, but not confident at all. Maya is making her Invicta debut, and I don't know, man. Hard to tell how good that talent pool is. So I'm gonna have to go with Liz Carmouche. All right, next fight we got Reneau Barcelos versus Kurt Holobaugh. Um, Reneau is making his UFC debut. He's from Brazil, and what do you know? They're both making their UFC debuts. That fight I don't really know much about, but I'm gonna have to pass on this one. What about you?
Yeah, it's another close fight. Kurt's coming off of the Contender Series. He had a nice knockout versus Bissett. Then he, got popped, I think, for something for so he was, on the sidelines for a year, or maybe he was like 8 months. I don't even know what it was, but he's definitely been on the sidelines for a long time. Barcelos, pretty good record. Both these guys are really good. I think that Kurt's the bigger guy, though. I think he's a brawler, and he has good striking, man. He has a very good chin. He's never been finished. I think that he's better on the feet. I think he'd be, keeps on the feet in a win. So I got Kurt Holobaugh by a finish. Next fight, I'm gonna butcher this last name because I honestly can't pronounce it at all. It's Khabib's, last name as well. We got Justin Scoggins versus Saeed Nurmagomedov, and you know what, man? I might shock a lot of people who I'm picking this fight. I actually did, at first I actually picked Saeed just because it's Scoggins. I mean, you know, you can't trust the guy. The guy just does not know how to like defend a choke or anything on the ground. But I think he's gonna get this win, man. I mean, his back's against the wall. If he loses this fight, he's definitely gonna get cut. And you know, this isn't Khabib. This guy's not even related to Khabib at all. The dude's making his flyweight, you know, debut. He might have a rough cut. You know, both these guys are going to be big for 125. I think Scoggins is so much more better on the feet. You know, obviously, if he gets taken down, I'll be sweating him out bed in this fight. But I will be playing Justin Scoggins on DraftKings, and I think Scoggins is going to go out there and get a finish here. So Scoggins is one of the best fighters in the division on the feet. We all know that. He's just mental and he's just not good on the ground. But I think he's cleared that up, and I think he's going to get a win here. So I got Scoggins. What about you?
I'm gonna have to go the other way with Said Nurmagomedov. He's just I think it's like you said, bro. It's like Scoggins is like known for dropping the ball, man. He'll if he knows you got a good guillotine choke, he'll go for a double leg. You know, he's that kind of fighter. Like he'll be winning the whole fight and then like try to double leg, like go for a double leg. You know, Pedro Munoz subbed him. Oka Sasaki subbed him. You know, Oka Sasaki's. I guess he gets the finish, man. But you know, he is kind of a. I feel like he only finishes cans, and I don't know. I think Justin Scoggins is better. He's not a can, but he just makes those mistakes, and I don't think. I don't know. We'll see how Said Nurmagomedov does in the UFC, but I mean, he has been winning in the Russian scene, and you know, I think the Russians are no joke. You know, so they're right there with the USA in MMA, in my opinion, because like their wrestling is good. They have sambo with leg locks. I mean, look at Khabib. You know, he's one of the best wrestlers in the UFC. So at all. Man, it's hard to trust him. Hard to trust Scoggins. Next fight, we got Darren Elkins versus Alexander Volkanovski. You know, Volkanovski, I think it's going to be another fight similar to Israel versus Brad Tavares. Not skill-wise, but I mean, like, we got this new up-and-comer, Volkanovski. You know, he's got a lot of hype behind him. He's coming up against a UFC vet, Darren Elkins. You know, he's not someone you can just take lightly, man. You slow down on him, he'll capitalize and he'll get the finish. Look at what he did to Mirsad Bektik. You know, Mirsad Bektik, I think, was dominating him the whole fight. And then he led up third round. Darren Elkins got the finish. You know, he finished Michael Johnson. You know, I had money on him there. I had, you know, all he did was weather the storm in the first round. Michael Johnson gave up and took him down, took his back, and choked him out, I believe. You know, so Darren Elkins will be there. If you give up, Darren Elkins is going to capitalize, and he will finish you. The thing is, I don't think Alexander Volkanovski is that guy. I don't think he's going to give up. I don't think he's going to slow down. I think he can keep that pace for 3 rounds. So I think it's going to be like – I think he's just going to be all over him, and I think he's going to get the win, man. I do think the line is off. So, you know, I wouldn't touch it with my money. But I do think Volkanovski is going to win here. Darren Elkins is – the line is off, so I can see a vet there, but I'm probably gonna have to go. I'm probably gonna have to pick Volkan because I don't think he's gonna let up. I think he's gonna keep that pace up, and he's gonna probably out. He's probably gonna. This sounds crazy, but he's gonna. I think he might be able to outwork Darren Elkins. He just has a ridiculous pace, so I'm go with Volkanovski. What about you?
Yeah, this is one of the toughest fights to call on the card. It's total disrespect. Elkins is the biggest dog on DraftKings. He's a huge dog on the betting line. I actually think he's going to get the win here. You know, I'm not confident. I'm not going to be playing it, but it's a true striker versus grappler match. You know, Volkan, you know, he actually has very good grappling as well as the striking. But the thing is, you don't want to be grappling with Darren Elkins, man. Elkins, you know, tires guys out. Elkins is very strong for the division. He's definitely bigger than Volkan. And I just think that Elkins, man, the guy has no quit, dude. I mean, the guy knocked out Bektik in the 3rd round. I mean, you know, he beat Bermudez. He has some good wins, man, in the division. Out wrestled Chad Skelly. But, you know, obviously his striking is not that good. It's definitely improved since going to Alpha Male. He's a very tough guy. But if he doesn't get to the mat, he's gonna lose. I don't think he's gonna get knocked out, but you know, Volkanovski definitely has the better striking by far. I just think it's going to get, very hairy in the third round. I think it's going to go all 3 rounds, and I just think that Elkins is going to put it on him in the third round and win a decision, man. So I got Darren Elkins. I'm not confident, but it's like me and you were talking about the other day. You don't want to fade either guy here. It's one of those fights that you don't want to play. Like like maybe DraftKings, but betting wise, like don't fade either guy. Like both these guys are
betting
really
wise.
good.
Betting wise, I think Elkins is the way to go because he's an underdog, and like like we said, you don't want to fade that guy.
You made a very nice bet versus a Michael Johnson. Like I should have tailed you on that one. Damn, I watched it yesterday. Like he got his ass kicked the first round, then like immediately went for the takedown and choked him out. So
weather the storm, bro. Like
he's super tall. He hasn't been knocked out in a long time.
I was scared that first round, but he's good.
He is, man. I mean, he's definitely improved a lot since Alpha Male. So I got Elkins, but it's not a confident pick. Next fight.
The thing is though about Volk is that like he is shorter, but I think he's like stocky, man. He's buff. He's like a little tank that's why I think Elkins is gonna have a hard time getting him down. He's strong in the clinch, I think.
He is the only problem I have with Volkanovski is I feel like he could drop the 135. I mean, he's really good. He's 17-1, but once he faces these bigger guys, like he's gonna be in a lot of trouble, man. Like imagine him against like Burgos or like Stevens, like the big featherweights, T City. Like T City's like 3 weight classes above him. So, but yeah, I got Darren Elkins, but it's a very close fight. Next fight we got Eddie Wineland versus Alejandro Perez. I like Perez a lot here. I wish the line was closer, but I'm not going to be playing it the current line. I think he's better everywhere. I think Wineland's done. I think he's on his way out. I just don't think he has the fire anymore. His jaw's been broken twice. He doesn't really throw that much anymore. He does have pretty good takedown defense. I don't think Perez is going to take it down, so I think it's going to be on the feet. I think Perez is going to connect, and I think he's going to get a knockout here. I know that Perez, he knocked out, Lopez last fight, and he doesn't really have a lot of knockouts, but the guy has good output. The guy's good striking. Trained AKA, and I think Perez is good, man. I didn't think he was that good, when he first came up, but he's on a serious, streak right now, man. So yeah, so I got Perez. I think he's going to knock Eddie Wineland out and send Wineland into Bellator. What about you?
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. We got Perez, who's coming into his prime. He's getting better and better every time we see him there. He just got that finish against who was it, Morales?
He just finished Matthew Lopez.
He just finished Matt Lopez. I mean, he got a decision against Aguilar Contra, who's a vet. He got a split against Sukenta, but that doesn't say much. Sukenta is probably one of the worst fight IQs in the division. But like you said about Eddie Wineland, man, he's just on his way out, bro. He's got 1 foot out the door. Just lost the decision to Dodson. Didn't really throw much that fight. He did have two KOs though, but I think that's going to end here. I think he's going to lose. Again, second loss is going to come to the hands of Alejandro Perez. But like you said, the line's not much value there right now. So there's a lot of good play on the card. Next fight, we got a Kat Zingano versus Marion Reneau. Both of these ladies are moms. They're a bit old in my opinion, but if Marion Reneau is younger in the fight game. You know what I mean? She doesn't have as much. She hasn't been through as many battles. She's she's a more fit. I think her brain's a lot more hasn't been rattled. This is gonna be kind of tells a lot right there. McMahon, she she quit her, but it takes a lot to make her. It doesn't take a lot to make her quit, but you do have to put it on her. She is hard to beat. McMahon's a really strong wrestler, so the fact that she was able to get the sub was pretty impressive. Kat Zingano's coming off of a split decision loss to Ketlin Vieira. In my opinion, it was she should have gotten a unanimous decision loss. Ketlin Vieira, in my opinion, won every round. But I don't know. It just says something about Kat Zingano. Maybe she knows how to fucking get the scud, win rounds on the judges' scorecards. But I do think Marion Reneau's going to get the win. I think Kat Zingano is, she's just overrated. She's on the way out. She's been through way too many battles. Like you hear on the Joe Rogan Experience, like she says one thing, she says the other. She says she's hurt. She says she's feeling great. Like I don't know what's going on. She said a lot of things that I would have to hear. I would have to listen to it again to hear what she said. But I just remember her talk. She just didn't really sound too focused one time. Then she sounded like she was focused another. So I'm going to have to go with Marion Reneau to get the win. No bet.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, so before I make my pick and my bet, I watched it a couple times because, buddy told me at first, hey, you should watch what, Kat Zingano said, and I didn't know that, I thought he was kind of making it up, but Zingano said on the show that she's done. And when a fighter says that, I mean, I just don't see, how, she's on a 3-5 losing streak, she hasn't looked good, I just don't see how you pick her or better here. I have, my first play of the night on Reneau at a -115. I think she's the better striker. She trains with her striking coach is Rafael Cordero over at Kings MMA. Her striking looked very good lately. Very good pressure. She dropped McMahon. She hurt McMahon. She has very good jiu-jitsu. I think Kat could get takedowns, but I don't think she's going to be able to, pretty sure Reneau's going to be able to, scramble, definitely throw up some subs. I mean, she's a black belt, man. She's very good jiu-jitsu. I think Reneau is, in my opinion, better everywhere this fight goes. I just don't think Kat has it anymore, man. Kat used to be a good fighter, but the girl's on a 3-5 losing streak. She lost every round against Caitlin. I don't know how the judges scored that a split. I mean, we had money on Vieira. Vieira won every round. She went good early against Pena, but Pena beat her. Zingano just a head case, man. She just doesn't want it anymore. Her cardio, I don't know what's up with her, man. I mean, she's a tough girl. I'll give her that. Her striking's terrible. Reneau has way better striking, and like I mentioned, I think the only way that she can have success is takedowns. But even then, she's not gonna. I don't know how she's gonna win this fight because Reneau is a sweeper. Reneau is very good jiu-jitsu, so I got Reneau, and I think she's gonna finish Kat Zingano, and I think she's gonna tap her out, man. I got Reneau by a second round submission. So next fight, man, we got another play. We got Miles Jury versus Chad Mendez, and I got Jury, man. I got 3 units at, I believe, plus 235. And Mendez hasn't fought in 2.5 years. He's coming off 2 knockout losses versus 2 really good fighters in Conor McGregor and Frankie Edgar. I don't know where's his head at, post USADA. Jury's actually a very good fighter, man. I mean, the dude's 15-2. He's only lost to Cowboy Cerrone and Charles Oliveira. I think he can play, just pick him apart on the feet. He's definitely more technical. Mendez is, has the overhand right, and he has the wrestling. My only worry here is, if Mendez, takes him down, holds him down, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Jury has pretty good wrestling himself, and, Jury has very good striking as well, but I think the wrestling, though, I don't know if Mendez going to be able to hold him down. I think Jury's going to get right back up. And you saw what Rick Glenn went for a takedown, Jury reversed him, and Jury took him down too, so Jury's a big guy for 145 as well. He's coming down for 155, man, so I don't think Mendez will be able to hold him down if he gets him down. So I don't know how you trust Mendez. It's kind of like the same situation with Joseph Benavidez, the long way off. So I got Miles Jury. I don't think he's going to finish Chad Mendez, but I think he's going to win a decision. So I got Jury by a 30-27. What about you?
Yeah, man. I do think the value is on Jury, but I'm probably gonna have to go the other way on this pick. Not confident at all, like I said, because I do think it's kind of a trick play. I don't know how either of these guys are looking, but I mean, Jury is in his prime. Who knows how Chad Mendez is thinking? Where it's been 2-3 years since he's fought. He's coming up of a loss to Jose Aldo, to Conor McGregor. But I mean, in all respect, he's only lost to the best. But this could be another situation of similar to with Emmett versus what's that one guy's name that got knocked out? Who did Emmett just knock out? Lamas, It could be a similar situation to that, passing of the guard. Miles Jury's young, he's in his prime. He looks really good. He's got really good striking, good jiu-jitsu, I saw his last fight, Rick Glenn went for a takedown, and he hit a sweep on him, as he was getting taken down, went with the momentum, so he knows how to use his opponent's momentum against them. So, don't be surprised if Jerry does get a sweep on Chad Mendez, but I would be a little bit surprised because Chad Mendez is kind of stocky. He's short. I do think he's going to go for the takedown and hug him there and lay and pray. But yeah, man, I'll be rooting for you. But my pick is for Mendez, but I'll be rooting for Jerry for sure. And the value's on Jerry. And there's no way I'm betting Mendez here. Next fight, we got Nico Price versus Randy Brown. Nico Price is 11-1. His first L came to Luke A. He already had his first L. He learned from it. He got better from it. Randy Brown, 10-2. Lost the previous loss to Bilal Muhammad. He just came off a win against Mickey Gall. He looked pretty good. Striking looked good. His striking looked way better than Gall's, but some reason he wanted to take him down. And he did really good the first round. Landed some nasty ground and pound on top, but kind of stayed in his guard. Mickey Gall has I don't know, he has a pretty good guard, but it wasn't. It was okay in my opinion. Maybe not that great in MMA. Probably more used to the gi, but yeah, man. Then the second round, he got swept from bottom side control. So it just goes to show he got maybe tired as a second round. Third round, he slowed down. He was just kind of chilling his guard. Did just enough to win the round, in my opinion. Stayed on top, kind of coasted. And let me tell you this, man. You can't coast against Nico Price. If you coast, he's going to finish you. You ask that to fights, man. He just fought Sullivan, and Sullivan's a pretty good wrestler. He was tagging him up on the feet. Let me just say this one thing about Nico Price is his striking defense could use a little bit of work. He gets hit a lot, which is kind of concerning me. Which is the only thing I'm really worried about is if Randy Brown fights like a really super safe fight and just kind of keeps his distance and stays on the outside. But even if he does that, I think Nico Price is going to find a way to get on the inside and land some shots, man. He has an unorthodox style of striking. It's really unpredictable, pretty awkward a little bit. You can even say awkward. But he finds a way to land those shots, man, and those shots actually hurt people. Look at he knocked out Joban. He finished. He subbed Thatch. He knocked out Morano. I don't know why that was really no contest. But he got caught for smoking weed or something like that. Super dumb. But in my opinion, that's a knockout. And exactly what happened. Morano was winning the fight. He started slowing down, and he got finished, man. So Brown better not slow down. I do think Nico Price has a better grappling. You saw that reversal that he hit against Sullivan in the first round. He went for he was like Sullivan was going for a takedown, and somehow Nico, with his awkwardness, was able to pick his ankle and get on top and land some nasty ground and pound. Sullivan laid on him in the second round, third round. Nico Price wasn't having it and got the finish, man. He's a finisher, bro. So I think he's going to find a way to get the win. 3 units, Nico Price plus 140. I saw the odds somehow, and I happened to get it. And yeah, man, let's go Nico Price.
Yeah, man, you said a lot of good points. You basically said everything I wanted to say. I also actually have a max bet on Nico Price, and I was gonna bet 4 units, but I mean, I had like 3 different lines on Nico Price because I bet at -3 130, and I had no idea how I went to plus money. So I mean, I think my mind is blown that he went to plus money. So I got a max bet on Nico Price. Striking, Randy Brown's a good striker. I think Nico Price is also a good striker. I think he's very close on the feet. Brown likes to fight very long, good volume. Nico Price definitely has the more power here. Nico Price is a very aggressive fighter. He's going to be in his face. He's not going to let Randy Brown use his distance. Nico Price does get hit a lot, like you mentioned, but he has a very good chin. He's a crazy guy, man. He's an awkward guy, Luke is the only guy that ever hurt him on the feet. I mean, I don't think Randy Brown's going to hurt him, man. Okay, Morano hurt him, twice. I forgot about that. But I just don't think, Randy Brown has that power. He is a good striker, though, but I mean, Nico Price knows what he has to do. He's going to mix it up. He has very good grappling. He has a big grappling advantage here. He took down George Sullivan 3 times, one of them by reversal. he's only been taken down one time, and it was actually against Sullivan. And I like what I saw. He was going for he's throwing up subs. He was on his back for a couple minutes and got right back up, and immediately took Sullivan down and choked him out. His back take against Sullivan and against Bren Thatch was legit, man. I mean, this guy has a very good grappling game. He has good striking too. I mean, his right hand's very good. I know some people might shit on me for this, but his jab actually looked pretty good against Luque, man. I mean, obviously I bet on Luque versus Price, but I rewatched a couple times, and dude, I mean, he was jabbing up Luque a little bit, man. His right hand is his best weapon on the feet though, but I just think he's going to be in his face. He's be pressuring Randy Brown. He's not going to give him any space, and Randy Brown's going to get taken down. He doesn't have the best takedown defense. He likes to play with his jiu-jitsu. He thinks he's really good off his back, but that's not what you want to do against Nico Price. Nico Price is so good on top, man. I mean, that's one thing that I wanted to mention for sure. He has a very good top game. So I think Nico Price is going to find the submission here, man. So I got Nico Price by a second-round finish. I think it's a big step up for Randy Brown. Randy Brown's not fighting the Mickey Galls anymore. He's not fighting the Brian Camoses anymore. So I got Nico Price. And I think Nico Price, is definitely going to be a top 15 guy in a couple fights. So there's no quitting this kid, man. The guy is hard for days. He's good everywhere, man. So I got Nico Price. Next fight, we got Rick Glenn versus Dennis Bermudez. I'll keep this short because I just, it's one of those fights that, it could go either way. It's a very, very weird fight, man. But I'm going to have to go with Rick Glenn just because I think Bermudez sucks. I think he's done. I think he has no chin. And I think Rick Glenn could definitely get a knockout here. So I got Rick Glenn. I think he's going to get a finish here. I think his striking just, Rick Glenn's another awkward fighter, man. He's the bigger guy here, too, because he's fought at 155. Bermudez, is a smaller dude, kind of stocky. But I just think his chin's out or is done. So I got Rick Glenn. I think he's going to get a finisher. What about you?
I'm actually going to have to go the other way with Dennis Bermudez. Not really impressed with Glenn, what I saw his last fight, and Jury, maybe Jury was just too good for him, but I mean, Glenn didn't do anything. His striking was bad, his grappling was okay. It was the only thing that could have kept him in the game, but even then it wasn't bad. I think Dennis Bermudez has the advantage in both the striking and the grappling. His fight against Feely and Darren Elkins were super close. They both could have went either way. So I think a lot of people were saying that he won against Feely. I don't really care much about it, but either way, it was close against really good guys. Elkins and Feely, in my opinion, are better than some of the guys that Rick Glenn has faced. But I just think that Dennis Bermudez is going to get the win. He's just a little bit better everywhere, in my opinion. But next fight, we got the main event. We got Junior Dos Santos versus Balago Ivanov. Junior Dos Santos, he's kind of 1 foot out the door.
Wait. You missed Sage versus Ottow.
Oh, shit. We missed Sage versus...
That's the co-main event.
Co-main event. Sage Northcutt versus Zach Ottow. How could I forget? Sage Northcutt, he's really good against fighting people that are smaller than him, in my opinion. But, he's kind of a bully in there. I think he doesn't like to get hit. You saw his last fight against Goatee and his previous fight against Quinones. He won those fights. They were at 155, His fight at 170s, he's 0-2, actually. He lost against Mickey Gall. He lost against Barberina. Against Barberina, he tapped to a pretty embarrassing submission. I think it was like half guard, a half guard head and arm choke or something weird like that. Saying he had a sore throat. I guess he tapped because he had a sore throat or something like that. He pretty much tapped because he was uncomfortable, bro. Pretty much gave up against Mickey Gall once he got sinking the choke real quick, let it end nice. Gall ended it nicely, with the choke instead of pounding him out. And, Zach Ottow, he did get knocked out by Li Jingliang, but I think Li Jingliang hits way harder than Sage Northcutt can. I don't think he has that kind of power. Like I said, Sage Northcutt doesn't look good at 170. Zach Ottow is a real 170-pounder. I think the size advantage is gonna be for Ottow on this one. He hits harder, and I think he's actually a legit fighter, man. I don't think he was kind of like. See, the thing about Northcutt is I don't think he has much heart, man, and I'm not buying the hype just yet. Um, so yeah, I think Ottow is a better striker here. The only thing I'm worried about is if somehow Sage Northcutt gets like somehow gets like a lucky decision. You know what I mean? Because I do think Ottow is going to be able to get up. I don't think Sage is going to be able to hold him down, man. Otto's going to be too big, and once he hits him, I think Sage is going to look for a way out. So I got Ottow, 3 units at plus 120. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I have my last play in the night. I have Ottow 3 units at plus 125. This is striker versus grappler matchup. Ottow definitely can get takedown series. The bigger guy, he's a stronger guy. Northcutt's, like you mentioned, 0-2, 170. When Mickey Gall drops you, I mean, Mickey Gall just doesn't have good striking. Ottow has the way better striking than Mickey Gall. One thing that I really want to mention here is that Sage Northcutt is chinny. He definitely does not have a good chin. He gets hurt every fight. Goatee drops him like 4 times. I don't know how the judges scored that to Sage. You know what? Actually, I do, because it was in Sage's hometown. That's in Texas. That's why he won the fight. Goatee is a terrible fighter, and Goatee schooled him on the feet, and Goatee took him down like 4 times, man. If Goatee can take him down and Goatee can hurt him, what do you think Otto's going to do? I know people are saying that, Ottow knocked out Mike Pyle. Ottow, he beat, Josh Berkman. He beat Berkman when Berkman was in his prime. He beat, Kunimoto. That wasn't a split, by the way. He lost a very close fight against Moraes. Wee is, I don't want to say Wee is legit, but Wee's a good fighter for sure. Wee's way better than Sage Northcutt. And Wee hits by a truck. Let's just say if we fought Sage, we would knock him out in under 30 seconds. I just don't think Northcutt's UFC material. I really don't, man. Even at 155, like, he just hasn't looked good. A lot of his fights, you could say he even lost. The Enrique Martin fight, I thought he lost that fight. He's looked better, I guess, at Team Alpha Male. But the thing is, like, he fought Quinones, who's a featherweight, and the guy sucks. And he fought Guti, who Guti beat him, man. So I just don't think Northcutt's, has the hype is just I don't see it, man. I think Otto's gonna go out there and derail the hype. And I got Ottow. I think he's gonna take him down and get a TKO. So he could sell him too, because that Sage likes to tap that mat. So I got Zach Ottow. Next fight, we got the main event. We got JDS versus the newcomer. Honestly, man, I'm not even like this is one of those Blagov. I don't even know, some Russian weird ass name. Yeah, man, it's just one of those fights I want no part of. It's a heavyweight fight. He's making his debut against JDS. JDS looked terrible lately. Post USADA, I wonder how he looks, but I still think he's going to do enough to win this fight. I think it's a huge step up for this guy, making his debut. He hasn't fought anybody. He doesn't have the style to beat JDS. He doesn't have the pressure. Obviously, it's heavyweight, so he could land one big punch. Because JDS has not looked good at all lately. He looked so bad against Overeem, and his last couple fights. But yeah, I got the favorite here. I got JDS, but I'm not confident. What about you?
Yeah, I got JDS as well. It could go either way, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Ivanov gets a takedown. Ivanov gets a KO. It's the thing about betting JDS here is that he's been through so many fucking wars, bro. He's been through so much damage that it's hard to really trust this guy. So I don't bet people for blaming the newcomer here. He would have to get a KO. I think it'd be a good idea to have either of these guys on your DraftKings lineup. I think there's going to be a finish for sure. Definitely more exciting than the Francis Zingano versus Derek Lewis fight. That's for sure. So yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with JDS though. Still not too confident. It's a heavyweight fight. Anything can happen, but I do see a finish here.
Yeah, man. That's the recap. I have a lot of units risk. This is one of the biggest nights I've had, for sure. Units wise, I got a max fed on Price. I got 3 units on Jury, 3 units on Reneau, 3 units on Ottow. So hopefully it plays out. I wasn't planning on doing a max bet, but like I mentioned, I did not believe in Nico. I had no idea Nico was going to be plus money, so I got screwed betting him the minus 130. But he deserves to be a max bet play. I do think that he's going to get the win, and make it look pretty easy. What about you? You're just betting Ottow on Price, right?
So Brian, so far just have Ottow and Price. Yeah, I think Price is going to be able to push him, get the finish. Outwork him, get him tired. Second, third round, late is going to get the finish, and yeah, man, Ottow's just going to expose Sage for that fraud that he is, dude. Like you said, he's not UFC material. Jodie dropped him. Jodie's a Frenchman. There's not much MMA in France. Like I don't know, man. He's only beaten lightweights, and so I don't know. I don't think it's a good look for him at 170. So Ottow's gonna. I'm more confident about Ottow than I am about Nico Price.
I want Sage to drop the 155 again and fight Bob Ross, because if Violent Bob Ross fights Sage, that would be the easiest money in the world. But we'll probably get a shit. Well, actually, we'll probably get a good line on that because it's Sage hype. But yeah, guys, we'll be back. And I think we have a card next week. Yeah, we do. For the Germany card. But yeah, I hope everyone catches, and good luck, everybody. Later, guys.
Peace.